Got Ignition. One, we've got RIP Takeoff. We've got RIP Takeoff. Rest up, my man. Welcome to another edition of Mouthpiece Included. Mouthpiece Included. As always, it's an open panel, so do take the time, smash that link that's pinned in the top of the chat, and pull up. But if you do pull up, I strongly suggest that you don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Yeah? We got about 3 minutes worth of house cleaning to do. So we ask you individuals to go ahead and take this time while we pay some bills to like, share, subscribe, like, share, and subscribe. TATN.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Educational.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls?
Okay, I'm in my local Ralph's, and this happened.
I don't go to church.
God understand.
God understands. I can
Man, where do they keep the honey around here? Excuse me, you know where the honey is?
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like
Oh,
a gaggle of
cheese
girls?
Al.
The Bears.
Who wants cheese head?
I don't go to church, and I know God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan of the Bears.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a gaggle of girls? The Bears.
I don't go to church, and
God
I know
understand.
God understands. I can stay on my couch because God is a fan
Bears.
of the Bears.
Who are the guys that are the best in the world and make the rest of the team look like a...
Well, guys, let's go to the swimming pool. Let's go take a shower. Let's go water skiing.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
There he is.
Be sure to bring a towel so you don't get all wet.
Don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Be sure to bring your mouthpiece, or you'll get all wet. In the building. Silver Back sir. In the building. All right, so y'all know the show format. We kick it off with how about them Cubs socks? How about them? How about them Bulls? You can put a fork in them because they're done. I won't be eating any crow. Bear down, bear down, bear down. FGP segment. As always, we have a flurry of hot topics we're going to be spinning through for you. Culminating in the hottest topic, which is the curious case of Craig Hodges. Pull up, the link is in the chat. You can also text or call. The phone lines are open, troll free, 424-900-6945. Let's unpack it. Let's unpack it together. And I'll see if we've picked a booger of the week. I'll see if we've picked a booger this week. And big up to the resident co-host, Jackie Robinson's finest management and coach. T.A. Big Ace is in the building. Bear down, bear down, bear down, bear down.
What up, bro? What's going on? That Mouthpiece Included is in the building.
Yes, sir.
House stock.
Yes, sir.
House stock.
Peace, self-love, and music.
House stock. Get your tickets now.
Hey, so what's been going on with you there, fella?
Oh man, it's been warm. I've been able to get the boys out there on the field, practice some baseball, and
There's no
we got
crying
some
in
games.
baseball. There's no crying in baseball.
That's what they say. I see kids crying all the time. But we got some baseball set up for this week. Actually, today I had a game set up, and we had 80-degree temperatures, and unfortunately, my game time at 5:30 tonight, temperatures dipping down to 38 with a chance of rain and snow. So, welcome to the
Snow,
sky.
go away, come again another day. So y'all getting snowed out there in the big city, huh?
Well, it's just going to be some fake flakes for tonight, and the temperatures shoot up to about 45 tomorrow or 50. But you know how it is in Chi. Get that 80-degree weather, it drops back down, and you gotta wait 2 weeks and it pump back up again. So what you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you?
Bad boys. Yeah, everything's been good here. We got our mayor working around, making things happen. He came
There's a lot
out.
of crime last weekend. That was his fault.
Yeah, it was his fault. That was his fault. But last Wednesday, was it Wednesday? Tuesday, we had a Black Baseball Matters extravaganza here in Chicago. At 4 of the local high schools of Chicago. Thornwood faced Kenwood for the Battle of the Woods, and you had Simeon versus
Thornwood traditionally has a good baseball team. At least back in the day, they did.
Yeah, not so much this year, but maybe it was a competition. And the Battle of Vincennes was Simeon versus Morgan Park. So
Simeon.
Yeah, we played at a little minor league stadium out there in Crestwood, Illinois, and it was a great event. The mayor-elect showed up. Brandon Johnson came out and supported the kids of Chicago in their baseball endeavors. You had it was a reunion of Black baseball from the last, I guess, 15, 20 years. Everybody. Both my sons played. Just about all those players were there at this game. So, it was a cool event. It was a little cold last year, so it didn't have as much participation. But with the warm weather we had this year, it was a great event. All the kids had fun, and it was great to see young T-ball players to 10-year-olds to 12-year-olds to other high school players and aspiring high school players just out there enjoying the event. Hopefully one day that they'll get a chance to play in. So, shout out to Black Baseball Matters.
Shout out. Black baseball does matter.
Yeah. So, hope we can get some of these kids back into the major leagues and get the sport moving again. Just people standing around trying to hit home runs. Probably with the advent of this new pitch clock, you might get the change in the game where you want to think the game now and maybe play small ball here and long ball there, just break it up a little bit. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. All right. And white baseball matters. Kanye West said white baseball matters.
That's what Kanye's hoodie would say.
All right, let's jump at it, man. Let's jump into it. All right, so y'all know the topic is the curious case of Craig Hodges. The link is pinned in the chat. Pull up, open panel today. You can also call in 424-900-6945. That number is absolutely troll free. You will get your feelings hurt if you call it with nonsense, and then you'll be immediately blocked. All right, so yeah. All right, so how about them Sox or Cubs? And we'll start out with my Cubbies.
Yeah.
Hey man, I did find them melanated This guy used to be in the bullpen back when I used to watch Mark Stroman. Hey,
Oh yeah,
that kid is nice
yeah. He
pitcher.
throw some gas.
Yeah,
Some
he's got
whoosh.
good location, and you know, he's got some movement on his pitches.
Yeah,
That kid, I like his. He pitches to win.
yeah, yeah. Well, I got to give some kudos to the Cubs this week. They're the best baseball team in town this week because the White Sox, they're playing what they've been doing the last couple of years, playing 500 ball. Win here, win there, lose there, win here. So shout out to the non-melanated Cubs for finding a melanated player and playing some good ball.
Well, my
Yeah.
Cubs are 7-6 right now. They're 2 games out of first. They're in third place, where I said they would finish, flirting with a wild card. But the homer in me said they'd take second, and they're only 1 game out of second. Your White Sox are 6-9, 500 basketball on my bum. But they are in third place, but they're 4 games out. So go ahead, bro. Just giving it.
Yeah, but the Cubs also got Suzuki back. And like riding in their little Suzuki Jeep.
Yeah, I remember I had my little Suzuki motor scooter on the yard.
Yeah. He came back and immediately hit a home run, and they're pounding the Dodgers these last few games as far as home runs are concerned. So there's if you're gonna not have those speed and skill players there, you got to have the home run hitters, and right now that's what the Cubs are doing to win ball games. They're hitting the ball, and they got some somewhat decent pitching.
Decent pitching, and they're throwing some leather too, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about
Ozzie.
We're not talking Ozzie Smith leather.
Yeah. But they're doing the best they can.
Yeah, I mean, they're not ranging or anything like that, because they don't have the natural athleticism. The game doesn't come easy to them, where you can just get up and be melanated and not practice and working your game as a kid. Yeah. As you see your sons have done. No, it comes natural to them. They've got the genetics and natural talent.
They don't have to work at it at all. They can just show up playing.
Yeah. They was talking that nonsense during the Warriors Sacramento game. That lady do the announcement. It just comes so easy for them. It'd be nice if they said they make it look so easy.
Right.
I've seen what these athletes put into it. You know what I mean? To make it look easy.
Yeah, the off season, even the work during the season that you have to put in to be a all-star or playoff caliber player.
Playoffs.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to worry about that here in Chicago. But that type of player. So it would be in the homework of developing a story that they do for these national broadcasts to just give some kind of kudos to these guys for the work that they put in on a daily basis to be.
And the parents who drive them around to batting cages and work out with them. Let's give the community some credit for producing this natural talent and not giving the slave owners, the former slave owners, all the credit for the genetic manipulation and the breeding.
Right, especially in the communities that we don't have. You got to go find a batting cage. You got to go find some place for them to work out at. You got to find, instead of the kid being able to walk, to the.
Yeah, but that's easy for a kid to walk through neighborhoods and gang sets in a city like Chicago and practice baseball. That's easy for that kid, according to whatever her name was, the pink lady who does the games.
Who cares? But even around here in the areas, the near suburbs of Chicago, they can walk from the house or get a ride from the house, or ride their bike to the community center to work out. There's a gym, there's a batting cage, the ball fields, there's a workout facility, and you just don't have that in the city that's accessible to the youth without either price tag or fighting some kind of controversy to get to these community centers and get back home safely. So,
bro, I saw a thing on Fox. And all the news report was, because one of my former coworkers sent me the link. 300 teenagers at 31st Street Beach. And they showed the video. These kids weren't doing anything. There was only one arrest out of 300 people.
Yeah.
And so I had to ask myself, well, what's the problem? These 300 kids go to the beach. They did absolutely nothing wrong. Police showed up and they made that news. So is there some sort of law against teenagers enjoying the beaches out there in the city of Chicago?
I think there was a sparking of a stick at that incident, which is what they might have left out of that story. And
well, at the time they reported, they were saying that they didn't know if it was fireworks or what. Nobody got hit. Nobody got shot. They found one kid, arrested him, and he had a stick on him. But I'm just saying, how is this news? That's every day in Chicago. Somebody's always got a thing.
Well, it's warm out, and they had nothing else to report.
And the kids were black.
Yeah, they were melanated. It's chaos. It's unadulterated mayhem when you have more than 10 melanated people together. So that's what they had to report. Show them running. And, when the police got there. So the police were there, and the camera was there. So why was everybody running around when the police and the cameras were there? I don't understand.
Because I just can't help but think if they were drop dead gorgeous, blonde haired, blue eyed, and they went to Oak Street Beach and pulled out their volleyballs and and suntan lotions.
Suntan lotion. Yeah. SPF 75, cover their skin up. Yeah, there would be no problem.
I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but one arrest out of over 300 people in the city of Chicago. Hey, hats off, Lori Lightblunt.
We're gonna blame that on the new mayor elect. Yeah, not Lori Lightblunt.
Right. We digress. How about them Bulls, man? So before we cover the Lawson, Zach LeBedresse put up 39 points, 30 in the second half of the play-in game, the first play-in game. Who was that against?
Toronto, the Toronto Raptors. They were down 19 points at one point.
Yeah, and they were blowing free throws because of DeRozan's daughter.
Yeah.
You got any comments on that game?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, well, nobody did. Why do you have to get down 19 points in a play-in game that could have ended your season and have to come all the way back? Why don't you have the strategy to either play in front or at this point with a team and do what you have to do to win the game? I guess eventually they did, but if you're counting on somebody to score 30 points in the second half of every game, you're going to get what you got in the next game, which was the L. But, I still, it goes back to the structure of the team and the coaching as far as I'm concerned.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the next game because I did watch. Wait a minute. No, I didn't. Wait. No, I didn't watch the Miami game.
You didn't watch that crap?
No, I didn't watch that. But I saw some highlights. And then I guess you guys were texting like during down the stretch. Shithole Vukovic wasn't putting up numbers. I say that to say I was watching the Warriors game yesterday, and the guy from the shithole country on Sacramento was nutting up out there. So there's two things here. I think the playoffs get a little more physical, and it's more old school NBA what a regular season game used to be. And these guys from the shithole countries traditionally aren't able to deal with that physicality, which could be why your boy from Denver, your boy from Dallas, why these guys aren't winning chips. But why are these guys getting passes? You know, that would have been the narrative if that guy from that shithole country on Sacramento was some sort of color and was playing like he was. That would have been the narrative, bro.
Right. Well, I mean, they get passes because they're exalted as NBA superstars before they can even accomplish anything, and that's exactly what happened when in the case of Luka Air Jordan Doncic, and when they teamed him up with Kyrie Irving, they thought they were headed straight to the NBA Finals, and they end up tanking the games to try and get a chance at Wabandabi. So
it was Sabonis. It was Sabonis.
Sabonis for Sacramento.
Yeah. But go ahead, bro.
But so they always get a pass. I mean, come on, you know what it is. So, but the point that you're making, that these guys coming to these games and they're exalted as superstars, is why they get the pass, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop because there's no way I'm giving Zach LaVine a pass. And they were even on the Bulls post game. They were giving Vukovic a pass, saying,
talking about we got to sign him and re-sign him as a free agent. Go ahead. What were they saying?
Yeah, he didn't get enough shots in this game, which is why the Bulls were lost this game, and they should have been going to him more in the post because he was 6 for 9.
Well, if that's the case, then they should be saying the coaching. But since the coach is drop dead gorgeous, blonde haired and blue eyed, they're not going to say that. That's on the coach if he's not getting enough touches.
Right, and even when Drummond came in the game, he was banging them in the post because they had nobody in the post. But instead of changing their offense away from Zach LeBed and pounding Miami in the post to the point where LeBed could get some open shots, they just let the Heat continue to double team Zach, and they didn't want to go in the hole, which thusly meant they lost the game. Simple. If they're doubling your damn two guard, somebody's open. See, the big man, it's either a 4 or a 5. And, yesterday's game, it was the 5. And, they had no interest, not yesterday, well, Friday's game. They had no interest in passing to the post. Drummond came in, scored some points. Vukovic was 6 for 9. But, they didn't want to keep milking that cow.
Yeah, DeRozan put up 26 points in 41 minutes. He had 9 dimes. Great game. 4 boards. Caruso gave us something. 16 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists in 30 minutes, and, stellar defense. Yeah, shithole Vukovic in 35 minutes gave us 12 points and 9 rebounds. Zach LeBed only put up 15 points in 41 minutes.
Yeah.
2 assists from your 2 guard. He was getting 200 million or so.
Max.
Pat Bev, the savior, gave you 27 minutes, 0 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 assists. Kobe White, who they should resign, that should be their target, and I'd let any other free agent walk. He put up 14 points, had 4 assists, 5 boards. And Drummond, to your point, had 6 points, 8 boards, only on 10 minutes. Looks like Drummond should have had Vukovic's minutes.
Yeah. They could have been rotating them in and out, man, just banging them down in the post. But, even DeRozan, they didn't want to pass the ball to at the end of the game. They were letting Zach shoot him out of the game like Jalen Rose or Zach LaVine of the pass. And oh my gosh, just to see Miami just continually going to the hole while the Bulls are standing out there shooting 3-pointers was like, man, are y'all watching the game? They have nobody in the post. They got one player out of Bayou in the post, You
Hey,
know,
what you said, that's how Sacramento beat the Warriors. They was going to the rack.
Yeah, they was going to rack every time. That the Monk that came from the Lakers, yeah, he was relentless. As soon as he got the ball, he was like, it's money time. I'm going to the rack. They fouled him
You look
every
at
time.
all those players. Magic Johnson did a great job. He had him. He had what's the guy's name on both those guys on New Orleans?
The Pelicans, the Kuzmas and Hushmanzadas. Yeah. Oh, are you talking about
No, these are melanated players.
Zion Williamson?
No, they didn't have Zion in the Lakers. The melanated players.
Yeah, I think it was.
Brandon, but they had Brandon Ingram. They had Ball.
Brandon
you know, you look at the talent. They had that kid that's back on the Lakers now, not Russell Westbrook.
D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, I mean, these are all. I mean, if they would have not just been thirsty to get a chip and just kept that team together, it's one more too. He's a big in New York.
Was Randall on the Lakers?
Shooting threes. Yeah, Randall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic had all that talent, bro, and then the non-melanated came in there and moved them all out to get LeBron and AD.
Yeah, we want LeBron. Oh, LeBron. Well, you know, they got their chip out of the bubble.
The bubble chip.
Yeah. I think it should be an asterisk next to it, but
that's just start marketing some chips out here in LA at the corner store, bubble chips, and have LeBron and AD on the thing. We'll have caricatures of them so we don't get sued.
Yeah. They'll be like, you know, what does this mean? Come on. They want to chip in the bubble.
Yeah, it'll be 90% air and 10% chips with extra
bubble
salt.
Chips. Bubble chips. Yeah. I mean, he had a lot of talent there, but you know, they didn't want it to develop. And it is what it is. You know, they had a press conference with our shithole country general manager, yesterday. And
who the fuck is
he said he wants to resign. Basically, he wants to resign everybody.
Yeah, he wants
bring
to go
in a
forward.
3-point shooter.
Yeah, he wants to go forward with the same crap that he's put together because to blow it up, he'd be admitting that what he put together didn't work. But that's, you know, Ball got hurt. He couldn't have anticipated that.
Right.
You know, they need to go ahead and ask the NBA about that injured player exclusion on Ball, and we need to move on from him. I don't have next season to wait for him and his dad to say, well, he's walking now. He's walking up the stairs.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah, we got a live press conference from the Ball residents that, he's feeling pain again walking up and down the stairs. So.
Walking up and down the stairs. Can't even do his own laundry.
Yeah, so we're going to have to. He wasn't doing it in the first down place. But, they got to do something. You know, he was fumbling around with people were saying that we should blow this thing up ever since the trade deadline. And, you know, I think we still have something we got to find 3-point shooter. We got to, and the funny thing is that they're trying to trade the All-Star. They're trying to get DeRozan out of here to give All-Star peace, love, and music. They're trying to get rid of DeRozan and get the Patrick Williams guy some more time. I was like, what are y'all seeing out of this guy in practice, or you know, on over there in Hyde Park or wherever the hell he's playing ball at?
Listen, he's a defensive. Listen, what he is, listen. He gives me defense. What I would do is have him shooting 1,000 3-pointers all in off season. You are what you are. You're not going to give us anything more than that. I mean, you know, if you give us a little more, that's good. But just shoot 1,000 threes. You know, try to convert him into an athletic 3-and-D player. But that's it.
Yeah, but they're saying DeRozan's taking his minutes.
Well, trade DeRozan if that's your problem. We said they could have traded him a long time ago. I mean, you're not going to win anything with this shithole team. They didn't make the playoffs. If anybody, it's called the play-in. So we didn't make the playoffs.
No.
It's false and misleading.
Yeah.
We were the 10th seed.
10th, who was struggling. struggling in Lake Michigan. Just fell off the damn pier, trying to get some damn somebody to save us, and it didn't work out. And and then you look at going into the first round, facing the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, come on.
Listen, if I'm trying to win a chip in the National Basketball Association, I'm not going to some shithole country unless it's in Africa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find me a couple of 7'7" players, 3-point shooters, or whatever the hell the fuck they can do.
Yeah.
But I mean, they don't have a clue what they're doing.
No.
They're looking for some luck, I guess, out of the draft because they're maxed out salary cap wise because they signed your boy Zach LeBedress. So there's not much they can do.
Yeah, it's top 10, and our picks top 10 protected. Like our picks are screwed because we gave up some for Vukovic. Yeah, it's just a mess. You know, it's just a mess. But I'd still blow it up in spite of it all.
Yeah, I mean they can. I mean, you didn't make the playoffs. I know as a general manager, your job is to put butts in the seats, but go out there and blow it up.
Blow it up.
Yeah.
All right. So today's topic is the curious case of Craig Hodges. Pull up. The link is pinned in the chat. Also, the troll-free phone lines are open. You can text or call so you can comment. That number's in the chat as well, but it's 424-900-6945. All right, this is our Bear Down, FGB segment. There's been news that Fields, the talented, athletic, everything comes easy to him because he was born that way.
Yeah, he's athletic.
Yeah, he and Khalil Herbert have been working out together. He's got Khalil involved in his running back workout. See what competition does? They lit a fire under Khalil's pants bringing in those two backs.
Yeah, we'll get your ass right on up out of here, buddy, if you don't stop performing. You know how many draft picks we got? Absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't have much. Ain't much moving on the Bears. You got anything to add about them before we move on?
No, just the anticipation of the draft. I'm tired of seeing all the mock drafts and the predictions of whether they're going to take offensive linemen, defensive linemen. What everybody speculates is going to happen. There's not much movement as far as the Bears are concerned. They're still looking defense. They got to look deep. I mean, they had one of the worst defenses in the NFL last year. So,
well, linebackers are solid. Our secondary is solid. Even though
got to get that line shirt up.
Yeah, exactly. They picked up a couple players. You just need one stud on the D line and one offensive lineman, and I think we're ready to roll, bro.
Yeah. If they can get that 3 technique, and maybe get a couple of edge rushers in the later rounds, some guys.
But they brought in one. He had 8 sacks last year. Can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got one. They just really need one stud. Yeah. And like you said, a 3 tech and a tackle, offensive tackle. I mean, we're 3 players away. I mean, you don't have to have all the pieces in place to make the playoffs.
No.
I think with this roster we got now, we can get in the playoffs when you consider we lost all those games by 1 score.
Right. They were considered the best 3 and 14 team ever. So you can pick
a bunch of bums. You remember I texted you, Ace, when we were watching those playoff teams play, and I was like, look at the talent. The quarterback can throw some shit pass and the guy makes a great catch, or catches the ball for a loss and makes a move, and I'm like, now we've got that.
Yeah. That's what you need. You need some playmakers. You need some football shakers, and you got in your linebacking core.
Yeah.
You can start drafting for building up your damn special teams.
Yeah.
And then look forward to that number 1 and those 2 number 1s you got next year, and 2 number 2s you got next year, man. You're in great shape.
Yeah, and then progression from your left tackle. And my boy Saquon is still out there, man. They better start. I know you like to take calls. Saquon said he ain't signing that tender. He told him, F you and that horse you rolled in on. You're going to pay this drop dead gorgeous quarterback my money.
My money. You know damn well that's my money.
Yeah.
So, I'm not signing that. And I'll sit out. Whatever the hell y'all think y'all can or need to do, go ahead and do it. I can sit out for a year, rehab my knee, and keep working out, and just go on to the next team.
If I'm the Bears, I'll give up next year's first-round pick for a shot at Saquon. Package up one of them running backs we just brought in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we got the money. And I'll go ahead and solidify him and have another playmaker on the team.
I don't think the Giants will take any offers for Saquon. I mean, I would. If you're not going to give him a contract, you got to do something.
Yeah, because he's going to walk.
Yeah, he's definitely going to walk.
So I'd package up a Khalil Herbert and next year's first-round pick and tell him, listen, your problem's mine now.
Yeah.
Sign and trade, though. It's got to be a sign and trade.
Yeah, but I think the tag, franchise tag they can use for 2 seasons. So, I don't know how that works. I'll have to look it up. If he doesn't sign his salary tag contract for this year, what that means.
But if he's holding out, these players have to realize, hey, I don't have to play football.
Right.
I'm rich.
Right. And he's doing commercials. So, he's got endorsement deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, either I don't play for the next year, or you take this first-round pick, second-round pick, and Khalil Herbert, in a sign and trade deal and move on. Since you believe in Daniel Jones so much. Yeah.
Yeah. You were ready to draft the quarterback this year, and now you want to pay this guy and franchise tag me, and I'm supposed to understand. So
right,
yeah,
they devalued the running back position, but a place like Chicago, linebackers and running backs. Come on, man, this guy can pass. I mean, he can pass, he can block, he can receive, and he can, get you those tough yards and explosive. Bro, it's if I'm, Pace.
All right,
I'm making phone calls. Polls, yeah. I'm making phone calls. I know you like to take phone calls. I'm making phone calls for this.
All right. And I think he's off the table for the Giants right now. But, if they're not taking phone calls, there's not much you can do. But, I believe teams are calling. If he says he's not going to sign.
He said he's not going to sign.
What difference does it make to, that you believe he's your guy if you're not going to, sign him to a long-term deal, which he wants, and he's been hurt. He had major knee surgery. So, he wants security. And if you don't want to give it to him, let somebody else do it and take you another pick and a player and move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you can build around Daniel Jones, and we're giving you a cache of draft picks for this kid.
Yeah,
because he's a bandit. He would make a lot of problems go away for any offense in the National Football League.
No, yeah, especially in the NFL North Division that the Bears currently reside in. We don't have to get down. You think they're the number 1 running team last year?
Hey, I mean, that RPO you saw what Daniel Jones was doing against the Bears.
Yeah.
Now, you imagine as Fields you got to make a tough decision.
Oh, boy, you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision. You got Saquon Barkley or damn just in time running at you. You got to figure out what you're going to do in a matter of a second.
Man. Man. All right, well,
splash plays.
Well, bear down. All right. Yeah. We were talking about Big Ben Rapelessberger last week, and Big Ben Rapelessberger came out there, and he said that he made some comments about Lamar Jackson.
We don't know what's in his heart.
What do you mean?
Ben Rapelessberger?
Yeah. You don't know?
Yeah.
Well, he said that, basically what he was saying is no one fears. Did Ben play defense? He said no one fears Lamar Jackson as a pocket quarterback.
Oh, wow. I don't think anybody feared him as a pocket quarterback. They had a running game and, just guys running around out there.
They feared him. Those little pink girls feared him.
Oh, that's who feared him. Yeah.
Allegedly. But let's give it some context. Ben's career numbers. He was 165 and 81.
Right.
64.4% completion percentage. And Ben wasn't in the pocket. He broke the pocket frequently. 418 TDs versus 211 interceptions. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio.
All
right. 93.5 quarterback rating. So that's his career. 93.5. And we're gonna because we like to give you data here. To support what we're talking about.
Yes.
Now, your boy Lamar Action Jackson, he's 45 and 16. So his winning percentage is higher than Big Ben's.
Of course.
His completion percentage, Big Ben's was 64.4. Lamar's is 63.7. Ain't even hit the prime of his career yet. He's less than a percentage point behind this. We're not going to.
Yeah.
We don't know what he did in those bathrooms at the bar. So we weren't there.
It was just alleged crimes that took place.
He's got 101 TDs to 38 interceptions, which is better than 2-to-1. It's higher than Ben's ratio.
Yeah, it's almost 3-to-1.
Yeah, it's flirting with it. And his rating is 96.7, which is higher than Big Ben's. So some of the prognosticators were saying, what if that nappy-headed black guy takes his helmet off, naps in his head? What if he had those receivers and that Ben was throwing to as a Steeler?
Yeah. Well, if he had those receivers, I mean, his numbers would be just as, they'd be more phenomenal. My goodness. You got, let's see, you got him almost at 3-to-1 touchdowns to interceptions. So now you make that 4-to-1 touchdown to interceptions. Give him the defense that Ben Ravensburger has to keep you on the field with those offensive plays. Next thing you know, you're looking at Super Bowls and more MVPs for a young man such as Lamar Jackson. To come out and say that nobody fears him, I believe we would call that pink stink. He's just trying to disparage the young man's name in the time that, he's trying to get his money. The pundits also went on saying, well, if Lamar had 3 years and 150 or whatever, $160 million contract available to him, why didn't he sign it? Because he wanted $200 million. He wanted something in the realm of a guy that sat out a year, which is Deshaun Watson, who has similar offensive stats. So Ben, we don't know what's in we do know what's in his heart and his hands. Ravensburger, could you be considered the booger? There's got to be something more than that, but to put yourself in a position to disparage another quarterback after you have retired, quote unquote, makes absolutely no sense. Somebody whose numbers are better than yours, who's faster than you, and possibly can end up with more
smarter than you, processes better.
more titles than you. It makes no sense for you to,
Well, you
come
make
out
a
and
good
just,
point. One point you raise, I want to comment on him making that statement. Period. I mean, the league is considered a fraternity, and then the quarterbacks are a secret society within that fraternity, and they
right.
don't tend to come out unless they're being paid. Unless they're paid analysts. Um, you know, you don't. It's weird. I've never heard another former quarterback come out there and critique another quarterback like that, unless they're paid analysts. What's that all
Mm.
about? Well, we don't know what's in Ben's heart.
Yeah. And maybe he's trying to, break more money out of this young man's contract, or he was, maybe he was paid by the owners, or someone in the division to help disparage Lamar Jackson. But I don't understand it. Why he would even come out and make a comment concerning the stats, like he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, like he was Dan Fouts out there, though. Like he was a pocket quarterback. I'm not taking away from his game, but he wasn't your quintessential pocket quarterback. That was not Ben's game. I don't think anyone feared Ben Roethlisberger in the pocket.
Yeah, the basic concepts, which are the concepts of the Steelers, with him at quarterback, Malone, Mitch Trubisky, or whoever the kid is they got now, whatever. The kid came from Pittsburgh. Our strong defense, run the ball, and be efficient with the football at the quarterback position. So, for him to come out like he's was the second coming of
Dan Marino,
or
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Take the money that you saved from having a good lawyer that kept you out of jail, and go somewhere and retire, and let this man make his money just like you made yours when you were in the NFL.
Yeah,
Break
3
this.
allegations of forcible SA from this guy. Forcible. Yeah. We're not talking about, a towel over this and that, massage. We're talking about forcible SA, and I think all he missed was like 4 games. Literally had charges. Criminal charges for forcible. And he's got the tenacity to open his mouth and talk about this thug looking, I gotta admit, Lamar looks like your everyday Pookie. You know what I mean? He don't even be getting his his hair done all season. That Mark pull his helmet up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here to play. I'm here to play some football. Why is there to play football? He doesn't have time to go to the stylist like some players do.
Big ups to Lamar Jackson. All right. So y'all know the topic is the curious case of Craig Hodges. Pull up. The link is pinned in the chat. If you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Phone lines are open, 424-900-6945. That's troll free, 424-900-6945. You can text or call for any comments.
Like, share, subscribe.
Absolutely. Get them in the building. All right. You'd like to talk about collusion. The Commanders team owner who's being ousted, we don't know what's in his heart.
Yeah,
we just don't know. You don't know. You're not in his heart. Jeff Bezos. Is it Bezos or Bezos?
Bezos.
Yeah, whatever. I've never seen that name before anywhere. Same thing like Elon Musk. These guys come out and make up these names.
And next thing you know, they're billionaires.
Exactly. But Bezos said that he pulled himself out, and the Commanders have found a deal, I think, but he said he pulled himself out of the whole negotiations because he felt like Snyder was grifting him, just using him to raise the bids. Good business move?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? You got one of the richest men in the world trying to buy a football team. And you got the bid up to over $6 billion. And they're trying to force you out. You're getting all these allegations of sexual assault or sexual misconduct, or your HR room is going crazy in the building, and you got to offer $6 billion to get out of it. Oh yeah, I'm using every tick and tack and any kind of strategy I can to raise the price. And yes, housestock.com, to raise the price of this team. And there's no way that you can fault them for that. What you gonna do?
All right, but Ace, you like to talk about collusion.
Yeah.
Should a person who is in your network, let's just say he owns a Harold's Chicken franchise, he or she, and they've been known to be allegedly misogynist, racist, stealing money, misleading the customers, all allegations.
Yeah.
Should they even be allowed to select the successor? I mean, I know on the one hand, this is America, this is their business and they own it, but it's almost like a franchisee situation. Like, should we allow these misogynist racists to just going on collusion to then choose another misogynist or racist? Or, for instance, if it's me, I lost my team because of whatever. And I'm like, well, Ace gave me the best bid. Ace is my buddy. He thinks like me, in this scenario.
Right.
He's a misogynist and a racist too. You know what I mean? He doesn't like the pink stink. So isn't it perpetuating? Like, it seems to me like they didn't want Bezos's money. And Bezos kind of read it wrong. They might have been used as a negotiation tool, but they didn't want him in because he's not part of that, oh boy, we're not going to say triple K. We don't know what's in the owner's hearts, but he's not, he wasn't standing on the lines of desegregation, spewing hate, what I'm saying? So, speak on that there, fella. Collusion. You like to talk about collusion.
Of course they don't want his damn money. Just like MLB owners didn't want Bill Gates' money.
Right. And Reggie Jackson.
Right. They didn't want their money. Somebody's going to pay $6 billion. So it's a matter of them paying $6 billion and 100,000 or just $6 billion and 25,000. When you get to the $6 billion mark, it doesn't matter. They're all the owners are making more money. Now it comes down to what friend or what like-minded individual that they want in their good old boys club.
Exactly.
And Bezos wasn't that particular person. So, if they can put a conglomeration or an ownership group together that, is part of their like-minded thinking, because we can't get in the group, then that's what they'll do. And, they can send a billionaire away. And if it doesn't work, the other deal doesn't work out, they'll just call him back and he'll come back anyway. Well, okay, I understand. My feelings were hurt a little bit, but I still want the team. So, it's not many people that can fork over enough cash or have enough credit or capital or holdings to buy a NFL franchise nowadays. So, yeah, his feelings might be hurt, but there's always ownership groups that are like-minded, like these quote unquote misogynistic races.
I stood on the front lines of desegregation. You're thinking, oh, you were, wait, but what side were you on?
I don't have no comment. What do you mean no comment? Yeah, I told you what I said. I said what I said.
Well, you had a lot to say to those innocent black children that are out there just, trying to get an education. You sure had a lot to say then.
I just want to see what was happening.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on. Mark, we don't know what's in his heart, Cuban, because, Cuban reminds me a lot of Donald Trump. People like him because he seems to be a likable billionaire, but they don't know what's in his heart. Not saying I do, but I never trusted the bastard, for lack of a better term.
Right.
But we talked about the bed rest, the tanking that the Mavs pulled. We thought it was extremely weird. Apparently, the National Basketball Association thought it was weird too. This is a little bit more than a slap on the hand. I know people say he's a billionaire, but that's $750,000. They got fined 750 stacks. The NBA investigated. They should also, in my opinion, be knocked down a lottery slot. So if they finish, you know what I mean? If the balls come up and they're number one, they should automatically drop to number two or something like that.
They shouldn't even have a chance at the lottery this year. And, if you want my opinion, if you're gonna ruin the integrity of our season and this draft lottery by tanking, then you shouldn't even have a chance to participate in the lottery.
Well, yeah. So the NBA announced that the Mavs were fined after violating the league's player bed resting policy and demonstrating through actions and public statements. Yeah, they were, open about it. The organization's desire to lose its April 7 game versus the Bulls in order to improve the chances of keeping its first round pick in the 2023 draft because it's protected. They should lose that pick. That should be you're right. The other team, I think it's the Knicks, should get that pick. Yeah. And the fine. Yeah,
absolutely. And it must, I guess it was the pick for Brunson? No, it was for Porzingis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Porzingis who they ran out of town, because they didn't want to use the post game, and head coach was talking about, that's not efficient and modern basketball. What have you won? Shut up. You know what I mean? You haven't won anything. Talking about modern basketball. Then all Porzingis does is goes to New York and becomes one of the most efficient, not New York, wherever the hell he went. One of the most, Dallas got rid of Porzingis. That's right. He left and became one of the most efficient big men in the league, according to advanced metrics.
Well, they wanted to feature Luka.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't let Luka run around and get all those fouls and get hurt and go on bed rest if Porzingis was standing there in the post.
Not play no damn D.
Yeah. So and they ran Brunson out of town, who propelled the Knicks to their first playoff win in quite a while yesterday.
Well, it was Brunson's daddy's fault.
Yeah, that's what it was. He should.
Any black fathers out there, according to the league and the narrative of the national media, stay out of your kids' business after you've raised them. Just turn them over to the pink man and don't have
take it from there.
Yeah, we'll take it from there. Yeah.
If he's worth anything, if he's worth any grain of salt, we'll put him right on Fox and get him a shoe contract.
Yeah, and make him Booger McFarland and call him Booger.
Shave all his facial hair.
Yeah,
and get him and take off his crown and get him right out there, and we'll take care of him. But that's my take on it. They should take away their draft pick, or at least put them outside of the lottery, and they will learn from that. But I think the result or the punishment should take away the draft pick and discourage teams from doing this. Because I think they could have had a chance, or maybe even
they could have got in. They stopped playing two star players.
Yeah, he's hurt. Yeah, he's not feeling good. Yeah, it's the Porsche order is not coming, I don't think, before the end of the season, so he's not going to be able to play.
So if they would have made the playoffs, they would have lost their protected pick.
That's crazy. That's cool.
And I don't know if you saw the interview. They were asking Jason Kidd about it. Jason Kidd, you could tell he didn't agree with it, but he right away said it wasn't my decision. It came from management.
Right.
Yeah. And then he said, they were like, well, how do you feel about that? He was like, well, they're my bosses. So he wasn't going to put his foot in his mouth because, he's on the clock.
No comment. I'm on the clock.
Yeah. You ain't going to get me caught up in this shit.
It's the NBA, baby. Then get me out of here immediately. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, come on, man. This playing crap is already lessening the integrity of the regular season. And now you got teams tanking at the end of the year.
Because they don't want to honor deals they made for trades.
Right. Makes no sense. So, yeah, that's my take on it. Take away the damn pick. Send them on their way. Give them the 31st pick in the first round.
Because it really hurt the Knicks and then those other teams that were trying to make the play-in, which nobody cares about. Right. So the Knicks should be rewarded, and that 750 stacks should go to the Knicks and the pick. I don't know what the league's doing with all this money because I don't see anything in the black community.
Oh, they're going to get some T-shirts on Black History Month.
Book bags.
Yeah. Book bags. Pass them out in neighborhoods.
All right, let's move on. Phillies pitcher, drop dead gorgeous, Matt Strahm. I don't know. He must be a beer lover, but he's sure talking a lot about beer. Why don't he shut up and throw baseballs? I don't know. But, I mean, what's he worried about? But he said the reason we stopped selling alcohol in the 7th before was to give our fans time to sober up and drive home safe, correct? So now with the faster paced game, I think he's just butthurt about, having to pitch the damn ball instead of standing there scratching his nuts and digging in his bum on the hill with all the kids watching. But yeah, digging his bum and picking his nose and spitting.
Running the game out for 4.5 hours.
Like somebody wants to see this. Boy, my boy Rick Sutcliffe, boy, he would have had to retire with this rule, boy.
That pitch clock, that is shit.
All right, absolutely. But he said if the game is going to finish quicker, would we not move the beer sales back to the 6th inning to give our fans time to sober up and drive home? Instead, we're going to the 8th, and now you're putting our fans and our family at risk driving home with people who have just drank beers 22 minutes ago. It's a lot to unpack in that statement, but I know it hit the national news narrative. My wife was watching The View, and the hens on The View were cackling about it, that the beer sales are down, probably all concessions. And I never thought that baseball was liking how long the game took because people were buying concessions, bro.
Yeah, it's part of the money.
Commercials.
Yeah, commercial. Those hot dogs, the damn
peanuts,
50 raffles.
You pay $20 for a bag of peanuts. Go ahead, bro.
All right, yeah. So as long as they can hold you in there, drinking alcohol, drinking beer, you're gonna feed it with some food, and that's more revenue for MLB or the owner of that particular stadium. So they're probably like, telling this guy to shut up and pitch.
Well, we've had our experience with beer drinking on the yard. Mm-hmm. Do you think one inning would matter? I mean, we're sitting there, just imagine we're watching a baseball game in the funhouse circa the 90s. Mm-hmm. And we're pounding beers. And then I came in and said, well, you guys got to drive, so I'm not going to give you guys any more beer after the 7th inning. No. You think that would make a freaking difference as far as you driving safely home? I'm missing something here in the whole thing.
Yeah, taxi cab, Uber driver, limos, or, those guys that are pounding beers at a damn baseball stadium at $12 a pop or $15 a pop. They don't give a damn about what inning they are. They're going to get there early, they're going to start drinking early, and then they're going to drink until they can't drink anymore.
And I've been at games, which I know you have. When that 7th inning comes, and now it's the 8th inning, they just order about 5 beers.
Right. Are you kidding me? To take them through the end of the game. Absolutely. So I don't think it makes a difference. I'm sure it makes a difference as far as the food sales are concerned, or maybe some of the pretty drinks they have, the spiked lemonades and all that crap. But yeah.
Well, what are the chances that Augie Bush and the owners are fanning this narrative and making this go viral? You know, because they're the ones losing, the beer manufacturers and the stadiums selling all those concessions.
Well, if they extended the time to the 8th inning because the games are shorter than, they've already had their say. Get here
I
early.
didn't catch that when I first read it. Yeah, they extended it to the 8th inning in a quicker game.
You down there dragging, walking down the ramp to get out to your car.
Oh man.
Pretty soon you're gonna be selling beer in the parking lot on your way home.
Yeah, this is just so much here. I mean, you shouldn't be abusing beers, and I think now that the cannabis is legal, they need to start selling that. You probably get your ounce at the game for about 500 stacks. 500 cannabis, get you, sativa, indica.
Well, it's not legal in all states yet, so that puts some of the ownership at a disadvantage. All the teams they got in Texas and it's legal in New York. It's I don't know.
Or maybe you can't smoke, but they can sell cannabis. What do you call that? Edibles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Get you a pack of cannabis Skittles for about $40.
Imagine being stuck in the 500 level up in those high ass seats with a bag full of cannabis Skittles. You talking about not being able to get people out of the damn stadium? I'm scared. I can't move.
It's coming though. That day is coming.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right. I mean, don't tell me about the kids. You can't have the kids. If you're having those kids around there watching people abuse alcohol, I'd rather, me personally, have my kids watching people abuse edibles if I had to choose between the two.
Eating a brownie or some damn candy or candy bar.
Yeah.
Or some infused drinks.
Infused nacho cheese. Infused drinks. Right. Right.
Yeah. Put the game in 3D for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. Today's topic is the curious case of Craig Hodges. Pull up. The link is pinned in the chat. You can also call in 424-900-6945. That number's troll free. You can text as well. If you do pull up, don't forget to bring your damn mouthpiece. And as they said, like, share, subscribe, put it on Twitter. All right. We got Rudy Gobert in the news. Rudy Gobert, he's French, so he's not from a shithole country. But he's a melanated Frenchman.
Well,
high yellow. High yellow. Some sort of mix, something going on there.
Yeah.
I haven't pulled up his lineage, but he wouldn't be eligible for reparations in this country. But Rudy Gobert, he did a little phantom punch. Man, they said on his own teammate on the sidelines, they said the opposing player, would call him the B word and tell him to do this and that. Ace, we talked about this with the Draymond Green thing.
Yeah.
We have a generation, now it's the second generation of children coming up. One of my brothers would tell me he'd be playing a video game with his daughter and she's just talking crap. Like these kids come up on the internet and saying what they want to say, even in school. Nobody can bully them and things of this nature. But it's getting out of hands. Like, how much can a man take? You know what I'm saying? But Rudy didn't really punch him. But Rudy was telling when your boy Draymond socked that high yellow guy in the privacy of practice, wasn't out there in front of the world.
Right.
Rudy Gobert, tweeted something about, controlling yourself or frustration, whatever he tweeted. And then your boy Draymond tweeted the same thing back. after this phantom punch. But what's your take on this? And did it cost them the Lakers game?
I don't think they give a damn. I think the other teammate that went over to the locker room and punched the damn wall and broke his hand might have cost him more than Rudy Gobert throwing his phantom punch. Allegedly, he said he might not even been able to play in the game anyway. Yeah. Who knows? They got so many excuses for everything nowadays. He said he's probably going to be on bed rest for the play-in games anyway. It's unbelievable, this crap that they spew to make excuses for whatever they do nowadays. You're bigger than your excuses every day to get out of problems. And the stuff that they do on the court or off the court, or, you know, it's crazy. But Rudy, I guess Rudy got a pretty big contract. Was he maxed out too? But he got a lot of money, so I guess, you know, he's like, I'm not going to keep taking this from you, Twine. And he threw a punch. He threw a nice little soft punch at him, man. You know, the team broke it up, just like, you know, any basketball fight. So, yeah, who knows? I don't know. I don't think it cost them a game against the Lakers. Who really cares about these damn play-in games? If you don't get it done in the first 82, just to make it to the last seed to get destroyed in the first round, yeah, who cares? As far as I'm concerned, you know, even if the Bulls would have made it in to play Milwaukee and you know, get swept in 4 games. You know, nobody wants to see Minnesota play.
Minnesota, I think they got in though. They got into the playoffs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they lost the first game, but they were.
Oh, yeah. Nobody wants to see them play anyway.
Yeah, I think they play. So when Gobert came back, obviously he helps anchor that D. I think it was all a setup to help the Lakers squeak in, because I think if they had Gobert, they would have closed that game out against the Lakers. You know, he's
right.
Defensive Player of the Year, pretty much.
I got you. So it was another aid for LeBron.
Yes, for his legacy.
Helped him get in the playoffs for the 29th straight year. God bless him and the Lakers. 2 more years, him and Bronny will be able to play for the Lakers in a playoff series to win the championship of the world, Craig.
And you're a coach, Ace.
Yeah.
Players, in my opinion, punching each other, whether it's in practice, but especially during games, that's a coaching issue.
Yeah, I really don't allow horseplay from my players.
Players disrespecting each other, talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if it's in the spirit of competition, that's fine. But you know, just horseplaying and, you know, wrestling and
calling each other the B word.
Yeah, no, it's not good for the team, your teammate. So there's no reason for that to be taking place. We win as a team, we lose as a team, and, you know, we're gonna fight as a team. So we just get ready.
Yeah, that's my point. It seems like it's institutional control, but they never mention it.
Well, you know, nobody has that now. They're worried about the participation trophies. So control is a bad word. They just want to get in, participate, get the trophies, get the hoodies that said we were in the playoffs and in 2023 and we lost in the first round. Give me my $200 million.
Give me my Zach LaVine. You know, and I've said it, Ace. I don't think you've disagreed.
No.
But if you're not a two-way player, you couldn't even play in our system at MP. If you're not a two-way player,
no,
we don't want to have anything to do with you. Nevertheless, make you the highest paid player on this damn team.
Right. I mean, you have no concept of defense, and a pivotal position as far as the two guard is concerned is, that makes no sense.
Yeah, and we used to tell people, you're not going to come out here and rest on defense.
No.
If you want to rest, you're going to rest. We're not busting our butt out here to watch you jack up the first shot you can get so you can look good out here and everybody can say you're doing all this and that.
Yeah.
And then you're not giving us anything on the defensive end. I mean, it's a war.
Yeah, just go stay your ass in the corner on offense. Do your breathing.
Right.
Yeah. And then
set some screens. Right.
And get ready to play some damn defense so we get an easy bucket.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the system, we don't need that, but these players are encouraged. And I remember, I think it was my brother who told me that, because he was bringing his daughter up in the AAU.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're encouraged. They're all Alonzo Verges out there. I remember Alonzo Verge, all-state player, down there messing around in Champaign.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, Milz, I rest on D. And I'm like, wow. So they reward the kids, who rest on D.
Yeah.
And keep promoting them up the ladder. But those teams who are getting W's and winning chips because they're, working hard on both sides of the ball, they end up at shithole schools, like Marquette, like a D Wade. I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then they got to do it's another cycle working their way back up to get where they want to get.
Yeah. They're drafted lower, but you could take a Carmelo Anthony and glorify him, who's never cared about defense, and they never got a chip.
Right.
Dame Lillard. I mean, I'm not going to say he's a bad defensive player, but I never heard anything good about his defense. And he can't win in Portland. These guys can't win because they're not predicating themselves on the defensive side of the ball.
Right.
Phil Jackson, Ace, you couldn't even start on Phil Jackson's team if you couldn't defend your position.
Right.
He didn't care who the hell you was.
Right. And you're going to be right there on the bench.
Specialist. Right.
Cheering Michael Jordan on, make sure you got the towel on the back of his neck.
Played D. Yeah. Rodman couldn't play no offense. Well, he was good on offense with the picks, and don't get me wrong, he wasn't a scorer necessarily, but he gave you everything on defense and those defensive rebounds. So, and them offensive rebounds. Like, if you're not giving effort on the defensive side of the ball, I'm sorry. I don't even want you on the team, personally.
But, well, that's just today's game. Nobody wants to play defense. Chicks dig the long ball. They dig the three-pointer.
The NIL digs all that too. That money. Yeah.
Yeah. Get your money to shoot those three-pointers up and,
take those step backs.
Point at your teammate like, yeah, you got him? I got yours.
You know what I'm saying? Switch on everything instead of fighting through the switch, fighting through the pick and guarding your damn man.
That's your man. Fight some damn defense on your man. Absolutely. So,
and that's what's ruined the game.
As far as I'm concerned, I mean, even that game last night was a pretty good game between Golden State and Sacramento. I'm like, man, why? All these guys just run around, just shoot three-pointers in the fourth quarter. I could test it.
Man, at the end of the game, the play before last for Golden State, Klay Thompson is 6'6". He had gotten right under the basket.
Oh, yeah.
And the best basketball play for him was to kick it out to Wiggins, who's been out on psychological bed rest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First game back, but nobody's talking about it. And LeBron would have made the same play, and that's a good basketball play. You're standing right under the bucket, and you need 2 points. Lay the damn ball up.
Or dunk the damn ball, one or the other.
And you're a veteran with chips.
Yeah. Kicked it right out to Wiggins, who promptly missed it.
If that's Steph Curry out there, I might give you a flyer on that.
Yeah. Because you're going to get the extra point from the three.
And it's Steph Curry.
And it's Steph Curry.
The greatest shooter at all time. And
you
know what I mean?
He's wide open.
Yes, and he's clutch and he was hitting those threes.
Yeah.
But if you watch that replay, all Clay had to do was lay it up with his left hand, man. He nutted up, bro.
Well, it proved itself in the end. And they still had a chance to win it. Off one dribble from Steph Curry, he still had a chance to make a damn 3-pointer to tie the game up. Well, you know, that's just the NBA now. I mean, you can have a playoff game where you're scoring 127 damn points to 124 in the first round. It's atrocious.
And it's starting, Ace. It's starting all up through the ranks, you know, in the fundamentals. I watch some of the drills they're teaching these kids. These kids are doing step backs before they can do a right hand and a left hand layup off the backboard. And these kids are working on step backs.
You gotta hit that three. You gotta be able to knock that three down.
Yeah.
Gotta knock it down.
But you imagine how easy the game would have been, Ace, if you could have done all that step back shit in those Euro steps. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you
stepping
kidding
back
me?
for three?
Yeah, switching my pivot, lifting my pivot, and stepping back.
Oh wait, on in there.
Even down low, all that step back. Hey, come on, man, everybody's getting their shot off. All right, but let's move on. All right, the Bayou Barbies. I had to open up some windows because of the airplanes. But the Bayou Barbies, Angel Reese. This is our pocket watching segment. We're gonna have we also have a we don't know what's in our heart segment. We're gonna start running every week. Pocket watching. Angel Reese's NIL value hit 1.3 million. Reese is now the highest projected earner in all of women's college basketball. She also gained over 2 million. I don't know what they were going with that, probably followers. Or dollars. So she's earned $2 million just off NIL. Why would she, if she want to leave college early and go play for a shithole WNBA team or shithole country?
I don't know. I don't know why she would ever want to leave. Shit, be in college for the next 20 years. I don't know. And just like I was saying last week, that they should put some kind of package together so her and the Larry Bird from Iowa, they go into the WNBA and spice it up some and get their rivalry going. There's no reason.
She should punch her in the first game.
There's no reason to leave at all.
They both need their own shoes. You know what I mean? I'd go to
Jordan Brand.
Under Armour, but yeah, Jordan Brand should be more black centric. But that black shoe company we pitched on this show, I'd go to them, and we'd start out with the colored, Angel Reese's shoes. Hers would be black, you know what I mean, and then have clean white pair with the logo for the pink girl, maybe pink, you know what I mean. And you gotta have that. Like Magic and Bird had their shoes, and you knew what side, you knew what was in somebody's heart, depending on which shoes they had on.
Well, you definitely know what's in their heart. You saw that right after the championship when Angel Reese became the thug, and the drop dead gorgeous pink girl was chose to feel sorry for because of the gestures that Angel Reese was making during the game. So but I think the WNBA might have dropped the ball here. But we don't know what's in the NBA on those hearts. The WNBA might just be a tax write-off for the league to not pay so much on some kind of tax. I don't know.
Oh yeah, when we covered this, I said it, man. They need people running the stands. They need one of those. I'd have one of those films, they call them, one of those pretty girls. Go out there and hit one of those. What do you call them? I don't think you can say butch on YouTube. There's a word they call them. the Doms or something.
Uh,
I have a film like Angel Reese go out there and run up there and sock one of those Doms. You know what I mean? One of those fans talking crap. This would make me want to watch it. You know what I mean?
So they got to get something going.
Yeah.
I don't think violence is the answer, but if she ends
it's
up
not the answer, but it's the key. Go ahead.
If she ends up in LA, which I probably believe she will, like happened so many times in the history of the league, you can give her acting classes and have her just fake sock somebody right in the mouth, and it'll be the narrative of this thug that went from LSU to the LA Sparks, and is after Caitlin Clark. Stay tuned on.
Well, Ace, and again, this is going to sound shallow how, but I've said this too, Ace.
Mm-hmm.
You can the WNBA. Listen, if someone has a radio face,
okay,
they've got to be Hall of Fame caliber, or they should not be in the league. Hey, say what you want. I'd have all those pretty pink girls and those, cute girls who can get on TikTok like Angel Reese, shake a bum all over the place. You know what I mean? My league would be full of them. I'd even go out and get a Cardi B or Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion's coming in. She plays she has a limited role. She plays 4 minutes a game, for the Atlanta, whatever the hell their names are. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Man, the stadium would start being full.
Turn into the lingerie league of basketball.
All right, I'm not gonna go to the lingerie league, but listen, I need high value, that's gonna bring all the drug dealers out. You know what I mean? The rappers at the game. You know what I'm saying?
You got to market it like you want to win.
Same thing like
Caitlin. Basketball.
Caitlin wouldn't be allowed in this league, but since she's a Hall of Fame caliber, just like Larry Legend, get her ugly ass out there. You know what I'm saying? She can start. You know what I mean?
They might be able to spice her up some, get her with the right people. And,
every team has to have Oprah Winfrey's talented makeup artist. Before the game. It's not your choice to come out here, with your face beat. It's not your choice. It's a league decision we've made. You guys want more money. This is what we're doing. You don't want to be womanized. This league ain't for you. Go play for some shit old country. Go ahead.
Right. Absolutely. And who's going to make that choice, especially after the Brittany Griner incident of being almost locked in Russia for the next 20 years. So, I got you.
And I'd create a Me Too scandal. One of those alternative lifestyle coaches is Me Too, and one of the cute girls you now got on the court. You know what I mean? You need scandal. I mean, listen, and you got to fabricate it.
You can't give them the whole blueprint on Mouthpiece included. I know they're listening.
Yeah, they're listening.
I know they're listening, but sooner or later, they're gonna take everything and have success in the league, like they say they want to, based on your ideas. So, let them figure some of this out.
Yeah, I guess so. And this is just what I'm saying I would do if I was in charge of the league.
Oh, they can hire you as a consultant.
Yes. I'd be on the clock though. Wouldn't get credit for any of it, but
no.
Yeah. They was doing that to me at the gig, bro. And finally I learned, let me formally put these up instead of giving up all my ideas to these clowns.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, that sounds like a great idea. Let me put that in.
I'll bring that up to management. I bet you won't mention my name.
I'll bring it up on my account. Let me do
it.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know how they do.
Big ups Angel Reese, big up Caitlin Clark. They have made me interested in watching some games next year.
Oh yeah. I tagged her on Instagram or something. I'm getting all these good Angel Reese videos, and wow. Yeah. I can see why she's getting $1.5 million.
Oh, she's in the algorithm, ain't she?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean, I'd be on my schedule and they should have a rating. 1 to 9 as far as cuteness quotient. And then you have 1 to 9 talent team. And I'd say if I'm sitting here in LA and New York, whatever the hell their name is coming to town. Oh man, Ace, they got an 8.5 cuteness rating. You know what I mean? And the Lakers got a 7.9. You know what? I'm going to this game. You know what I'm saying? And there might be some people who like the dom friendly games. You know what I mean? This is a 1 rating. You know what I mean? Big ups to the town. But people will
the algorithm's gonna send it to you based on your preferences.
Correct.
Anyway, and that's gonna get you to those games that you might more than likely be interested in. And that's what they do in everything else and all other kinds of marketing. So I don't see the problem with it happening with the WNBA.
And all the games should be on free TV for the love of Pete. The love of Pete. Yeah. All right, let's move on. All right, let's move on.
Especially since all the NBA teams have moved to their own networks and channels, or TNT or TBS. Put the WNBA on regular channels.
9. I'm not even talking about major networks. I'm talking about your local feed when you come into the hotel, you're traveling, and what channel is this damn game on? You know what I'm saying? And our local team is the Oklahoma, whatever the hell their name is. You know what I'm saying?
Shit kickers or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, yes, the Atlanta Doms. You know what I mean? The Minnesota Films. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
Yeah.
They got all films.
Going all the way.
They got all films on this team. Yeah, let's get the San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, but big ups to your alternative lifestyles. We're just having a little fun.
You're just poking a little bear for you.
Yeah. All right. We don't know what's in their hearts. Ace, we cover a lot of high school football here with these pinks and their stink.
Yeah.
But this is a private businessman.
All right.
Lead Edge Sports is where he trains athletes. Over 95% of them are melanated.
All right.
Small ups to their parents because y'all need to be buying black. But I know there's not much opportunity out there. But come on.
Yeah.
You could find anybody who played in college level and they can train your kids like this devil did, in my opinion. But he's a former defensive back, University of Georgia. Football.
Georgia?
Yeah, Georgia. You don't know what's in their heart.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan's not welcome at Augusta, but, can't be a member. But he could show up and gamble. He was voted Georgia High School Coach of the Year for track 6 years straight. He's coaching the melanated in track.
Yeah, Coach of the Year, absolutely.
Yeah, getting credit for all that natural God-given talent. And, this guy sounds like Charleston White, but I'm going to play a clip. This guy's been going viral.
All right.
And this, to any parent out there, this is what your kids are dealing with, and you should know that because you dealt with it.
You see the story out of Georgia.
Oh, no, we don't. Fair use, but we don't want to get dinged here.
Fair use.
Yeah, fair use, damn it. So you parents need to know, this is the guy that you send your kids to. All right? When you got coaches out here like Ace or of a melanated hue.
Up here, and just got a conference with the legislature, real estate thing and all, in downtown Atlanta, staying here at the Omni Hotel over by the CNN. Ain't seen a white person in sight.
Guarantee he watches Fox.
Street, every restaurant looking in here is black. Every car beside them is black. But they can have Atlanta. It used to be a fun place to come to up here. They can have this place right here and stuff. There ain't no way. Ain't no way. Just there's your. It was just a sign up there that had Obama and all them on there. And stuff, man. So, that's all that's up here.
We don't know what's in his heart.
And stuff is just.
You can tell by the way he says Obama.
Yeah, you and boy need to come up here and go hunting. Yeah. And stuff, man.
Go
Ain't
hunting.
nothing here, dog. Ain't nothing but blacks up here. That's all it is. Atlanta's been gone down, man. Just gone. Bro, look at this nigga trying to pull out in front of me right here. Look at that nigga trying to pull out in front of me right here. Hey, did you see that tree right there? Yeah. Did you see that tree right there? Roe will hang you from that tree. Yeah.
Sound like Charles
What's he got?
Savant.
$129. Look at that. Nice. Look at this nice jacket. Laid out here on the bed for me. Nice. Columbia. Yeah. Columbia, yeah. Yeah. So got the Glock by the bed. Let me go.
Is this Coach?
Sound like
Y'all niggas bring me some chicken wings, 2 hoes, a red bone and a white girl. Y'all want a white girl? Roe gonna try the red bone. No, Borf ain't coming. Yeah, he was here and everything. He make them leave. He make the red bone leave. Yeah, he don't do that. Anything. So I tried that one time at the house. Yeah, just Roe. Yeah, he probably do it, and he probably gonna throw out we on the 14th floor. He probably throw out the window. What he done with her?
He.
Yeah. Cheap
He.
rate. Atlanta. Nigger town.
This is the same.
Man. 95% of his clients are melanated. What in the hell could he be teaching these kids?
We love Coach. We don't know what's in Coach's heart. They didn't built up this video. I think it's been Photoshop. Put Coach's voice on there, make it sound like that. Are you kidding me? In 2023, this guy's running around in Atlanta and Georgia coaching.
And where there's smoke, there's fire. He's not isolated.
No, because all his friends and whoever the hell he's talking to in the damn video gotta feel that damn way.
6 years straight, Coach of the Year.
Oh my gosh.
This guy. You know, coaching is teaching, it's mentoring young people. It has a lot more to do than just, X's and O's and winning ball games. Yeah,
you deal with different problems. You show empathy to these kids.
Yes. And you'll have a lifelong impression on these kids. Go ahead.
Right. But instead, he's thinking in his head, look at this little ninja. Can't run his way out of the box.
Man, talking about throwing a lady out the window.
Hanging from a tree. Look at that tree there.
And the fact that he would go live, show his face. What's wrong with these people?
Yeah, well, they feel there's no consequences. There's no repercussions. It's the way I feel. It's freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Right to bear arms.
Okay, I'm going to say this. If there's one, talking about this private, his high school, if they haven't fired him, if he's still there, I don't know. But if he has one private client that is not melanated or a person that feels the way that he feels, I'm going to call their parents coons.
Yeah.
If you see a video like that as a parent, damn what the improvement your kid is getting and what your kid's son or daughter is saying. You got to get them out of that program.
Absolutely. Because there's nothing good that can come from it. I don't care what he seems to be teaching these kids, but we know what's in his heart. And he just spewed it out on live to the world.
And whoever this Roe is, they need to get him off the street too.
Yeah.
I think that's the Grand Wizard or something. Local wizard of that area.
The Grand Wizard cousin, or whoever he is to him. Yeah, he felt he had to narrate his entire racist trip to Atlanta to Roe. Yeah, and that's totally unnecessary. Wow.
And that car with that sister in there who didn't even really look melanated.
Mm-hmm.
But if that was a carload of Pookies, he wouldn't have been saying shit.
You wouldn't have said a thing.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
You can come down to my program, boy. But see, that's the thing. We don't be catching them dog whistles. Boy, and and I can get you to the big colleges. It's just another way that they're profiting off of our accomplishments.
Right.
But the fact that 95% of his clients will be melanated when all of us have been athletes, that just says something, which is what we're talking about in the next self-love show, about our mindset in our community.
Self-hate. Got to get over it. Got to get past it. Got to get through it. Got to eliminate it.
Yeah, but that's our we don't know what's in his heart segment, and we truly don't know what's in his heart. I mean, he could have been under the influence or something. I don't know.
Yeah, all that just came out because he had a Mike's Hard Lemonade, huh? Shout out to Mike's.
Yeah, big up. All right, so that brings us to our booger of the week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Stephen A. Booger.
Not again.
Yeah, I mean, we can pretty much run him and certain guys up every week, but I mean,
try to shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, this is Stephen. Well, yeah, we don't want him to think it's personal.
Yeah, it's not.
This is Stephen A. Booger on Donald Trump. I will tell you this. I think when people call him racist and stuff like that, I've never thought about Trump like that. He's not against black people. He's against all things not named Donald Trump. There's a difference. Now, Stephen A. always espouses being from New York. So he didn't hear he hasn't been following anything with the Central Park 4 or 5, whatever it was.
Well, he's got to know those guys. It was such a big story in New York, and them finally getting out of jail and getting a little check, and some of them going on and becoming doctor. Yeah. So if he doesn't know that story, then he's.
But Ace, I knew it in the 90s. I'm like, when Trump was doing all that, I'm like, man, this dude's a racist. Like, it wasn't. Well, I don't know what's in his heart.
You don't know what's in his heart.
His dad was a known Grand Wizard of the KKK, Trump's dad. Yeah. He's been sued multiple times for not renting to black people his apartments and stuff like that, and discrimination.
Yeah. Wasn't me.
Stephen A. doesn't have this information?
Absolutely, he has to have it. Just like he has the information on your guy in Texas, Jerry Jones. He didn't know what was in his heart. I would assume as part of his contract with the ESPN, or maybe he's got a separate contract on the side to be the peak apologist of this era. And that's the guy they cart out anytime there's some sort of racist or display of these particular pinks' racism. They just cart out Stephen A. Smith and everything is all forgiven. So it's wow.
So Trump allegedly fanning people to rub poop on the hallowed halls of the House.
Mm-hmm.
And commit murder. Those people aren't named Trump. He's not against them.
No, of course not. But they were following his orders, allegedly, until we see him locked up. I can't sit here and talk about or rationalize anything that Stephen A. Smith might say or do in this society. Now that football season's over, he might come up with any damn thing to make himself relevant. But wow, that's yeah. It's
Hey,
quite
even when
amazing.
the rappers, all of them being from New York,
Uh-huh.
were glorifying this clown. Back then,
Yeah.
I was like, why are they glorifying this racist? You know, it was all about stuff in the bag, and they liked Trump
Money.
because he was about the bag. And
Yeah.
some of them were just using that analogy, but I hated it then. Some of them I had to stop listening to.
Right.
And so now the narrative is, well, Trump was never a racist before because in the 90s rappers was certain coon rappers who were just into it for the bag
Right.
were doing it. But I don't remember Black Thought glorifying them. I don't remember Talib glorifying Trump. I don't remember Mos Def glorifying Trump. I don't remember Common glorifying Trump. You know what I'm saying? So
they were boots on the ground. They saw what he did and took out that full page article about the Central Park.
Well, there were some rappers glorifying him. Jigga was there. He saw what he did. He's a billionaire now, you know.
Yeah, he was a part of the crew.
Yeah. Yes. So my point is that it wasn't all rappers and it wasn't all black people. I remember my wife was watching his show, You're Fired, whatever that is. And I would come there, what are you watching this racist for? Before I even thought about running racist. He ain't racist, he just rich, he black. He's a racist. I don't know what's in his heart.
Allegedly, he's a racist.
I mean, come on.
I mean, he should have brought him out when they put him in the damn White House.
Oh, that was crazy because, you know, now that the Democrats and the national media is calling him a racist, you know, wifey agrees. Said, you know, you can't listen to me. You know what I mean? I tell you, this guy's a racist and tell you about, you know, why I feel this way. But
right
now he's a racist because they want you to vote a certain way.
Yeah, it's all in the game. That's why we try to stay out of the game.
All right, well, let's get on the topic so we can close out. The Curious Case of Craig Hodges. You guys pull up. The link is in the chat. I'm going to just give you guys a little background of his career. Craig Anthony Hodges, he was born in June 27th, 1960. Former NBA player, former head coach of Westchester Knicks of the NBA Developmental League. He played in the NBA for 10 seasons and led the league in three-point shooting percentage 3 times. He won 2 NBA chips with the Bulls, and along with Larry Bird, is one of the only 2 players to win 3 consecutive three-point contests. He never gets mentioned as one of the greatest shooters of all times. No, never even mentioned. Okay, so he won the competition in 90, 91, and 92. He also holds the three-point contest records for most consecutive shots made with 19 set in 91, and the most points scored in a single round at 25 and 86. He was later head coach at Chicago State University. You know what I mean? Went out there and walked it like he talked it.
Yep.
He was an assistant coach for the LA Lakers and head coach of the Halifax Raymond of the National Basketball League of Canada. Round 3, 48 pick overall in 1982. He played at Rich East, that's in Park Forest in high school. Played Long Beach State out here in Cali. Was dominating for the Bucks from 84 to 88. Then went to Phoenix for 1 year before coming to our Bulls. So once he got to the Bulls, Ace, you can get your camera back on if you want. Once he got to the Bulls, he won a couple chips. And what do you have to say about his career? And then we'll get into
collusion.
Banned by the league. Yeah, collusion. Yeah, collusion.
You know, I always thought of him as a great shooter. Watching, his career back in the days, looking into this story, it was amazing the fact that his career ended at the White House that day when he wore his dashiki and handed that letter to George Bush. You think in a talent-driven league, a league that is based on having the best players mentally and physical and skill-wise, that there's no way they could justify colluding to keep him out of the NBA. But it happened. It happened, and it's just it's a sad story based on the fact that he has a couple of powerful NBA players to do something he said that he thought they wouldn't do. But the fact that, his brethren or his fraternity in the NBA, haven't stood up and backed him.
Well, let's get there. So back in '92, Hodges had a Kaepernick-esque conclusion to his NBA career, and Mahmoud Muhammad, which we'll cover next week. Yeah, Chris Jackson.
Yeah,
the hooper formerly known as Chris Jackson. After winning 2 championships with the Bulls and claiming the three-point contest title 3 times consecutively, he found himself ousted at 31, bro. And this is a guy who's a specialist. Their careers go on forever, barring injury. Much like Cap, a capable backup quarterback who ain't played since 2016 when he began kneeling during the national anthem to protest social justice. Hodges believes he was scorned by the NBA for his activism. After he was cut by the Bulls in '92, he did not receive an offer from any other teams, prompting him to file a lawsuit. I gotta see if he won that. But he ended up coaching the Lakers. That's usually how they get out of it. Yeah, come coach the Lakers. In his activism efforts, Hodges most notably wanted to protest Game 1 of the 1991 NBA Finals between the Bulls and the Lakers, staged a few months after Rodney King was brutally, R.I.P. Rodney King, we all get along, after Rodney King was brutally beaten by LAPD officers. He went to discuss it with teammate Michael Jaffe Jordan and Lakers star Magic Johnson, both billionaires, the 2 biggest stars in the league at that time. I knew the answer before I went to him, Hodges said. What's funny to me is how quickly they dismissed it. Both conversations lasted less than 2 minutes. Magic was coming on the court the day before the first game, and I asked him about it, and he tells me it's too extreme. I already discussed it with with Mike in the locker room, and he tells me, man, that's wild, man. So it's not anything I haven't faced before. After the Bulls won the '91 championship, Hodges and his teammates were invited to the White House by then President George H.W. Bush. Hodges wore a dashiki and wrote a letter to Bush detailing racism Black Americans were facing in the country. The article says at the time, I just say facing in the country. When NBA players unified this past week to protest the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin, Hodges saw the type of activism he pushed for nearly 2 decades. It was beautiful. Yeah. I felt like all the ancestors were smiling, and I said, man, our young brothers got some backbone. We already know the women have the backbone because they have been doing this, and they'll walk away from it, no issue. That's because they usually got a man working, bringing home some checks. But it's for the brothers that cling to the trinkets of white supremacy and racism. You hear this, Coach? Yeah. And the things that come with it. A nice house in a gated community next to my billion-dollar owner. That's what success has been modeled at for young African-American men. So now we talk about wanting to get out of the community as opposed to rebuilding the community, as opposed to how can I make my community reflective of my culture or heritage and still be appreciated. Let's see. LeBron tweeted, thank you to Cap for being true. And He's impressed. Hodges is impressed with LeBron's platform. I love that they're dealing with the information that they have and they're working with the information that they have. You don't have to be a historical scholar, but you do have to have empathy. You have to try to see the world not from your millionaire eyesight, but from the poorest person. Are you listening, coach? But from the poorest person sitting on the corner with the can in their hand asking you for $1. That's the way I see some of these young brothers. They're feeling that because they're not too far removed from that. They forgot where they came from. One comment I'll make before I throw it to you. Yeah, it's easy to go to Michael Jordan and Magic and say, let's do it. But there was another step, in my opinion. This is all hindsight. Okay, well, you guys are going to be playing by yourself. You understand? He didn't need Mike and Magic for that boycott. What he needed was just enough players to you falling asleep out there. Yeah. What he needed was just enough players, Ace. He didn't need. So in other words, if he would have just gotten 5 players off each team to boycott, the NBA was going to have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, but the NBA wasn't there. They were just coming out of playing on tape delay 10 years earlier. Just coming into some sort of prominence, just coming into, that was a year before they went to Barcelona and became worldwide based on the talents of Michael Jordan. So the players that he thought would make the most impact, he probably knew that they weren't going to sit out with him, such as a Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson.
Okay, so why didn't he sit out? I'm just saying it's
yeah.
Magic and Mike can make whatever decision they want to make, which I don't agree with the decision they made. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
But why does your conversation? We're conditioned to always go to these guys. Go to LeBron. If he leaves the bubble, we leave the bubble. No. Yeah. We're going to leave the bubble whether he leaves or not. And if he wants to be known as the coon who stayed in the bubble, you know what I mean, playing by himself, you know, or with scab players, that's fine. But I'm just talking. There's another way we can do this. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it hadn't been done in the league at all. And I guess he just didn't have the blueprint in his mind to figure it out. Maybe he could have got somebody else on the team or the other team to walk out with him to make this prominently known, but he just didn't have it formulated in his head as what to do. And as you see, after his trip to the White House, he still had no backage from anyone, and Reinsdorf, you know, called him like, yeah, you no longer are a member of the Bulls, and good luck to you in life, because they knew what was coming on the other end, because they had colluded not to allow him to be in the league anymore.
Correct. So, he said he knew what the answer was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So then, if the answer is this, what's the next step?
Right.
Wear the Dashiki to the White House and just go ahead and play. You know, that's all I'm saying. I think we could have found a good percentage enough of players where it was still going to be bad for the league either way.
Yeah, but the players weren't making. We can't even put it on money. The players didn't have they didn't have the cojones to do it then. They didn't have the. They were looking for pink women and coke. And can you say Boogie Sugar?
You pink can, but I'm just wondering if he ever presented it. That would be one question I'd have for Craig.
Yeah.
Did you ever present it to the other players in the locker room after these two, billionaire seekers said no? Of course, of course they're gonna say it. Right.
Yeah, because they really got something to lose. They had the most to gain, and and that's been apparent throughout their after career and their full careers. But they figured they might have had the most to lose by sitting out with him. Or
Man, they would have been looking like OJ, boy. That's all I'm saying, man. And then you're right though. And then during those times,
because no one said anything about it.
Correct.
You know, there was no stoppage of NFL play or NBA play. I was like, man, it was just a videotaping of a black man being beat, and then the protest came from the people in LA when they.
But there was stoppage of play when they were chasing OJ Simpson around the city.
Oh yeah, that was OJ. He had allegedly murdered this pink woman, and the guy.
Two pinks. Yeah.
And the guy from the bar.
Yeah.
That was bringing the glasses back. Or restaurant.
Bringing the booger sugar over.
Yeah. So it was. They stopped the NBA finals. I'm like, man, we're watching it. What was it? Houston Rockets and somebody they were playing. They put that in the corner.
I think New York.
Yeah, and we watching damn OJ drive around in a Bronco. I don't want to see this crap. I want to see the damn basketball game. But the importance of a black man being beaten in today's society, or that day's society, by several police officers who were later acquitted of any wrongdoing. Oh my gosh, it's hard to relive any wrongdoing for beating him because he was speeding, allegedly, or whatever they came up with to justify beating Rodney King almost to death. It's hard to fathom that there was no outcry from any major sports team like there is today. But you're talking about 30 years ago. And,
well, I just looked this up, Ace. Hodges filed his case 4 years after the Bulls dropped him. And here's some BS that they did to him. He should have gotten some better lawyers. Unfortunately for him, it was 2 years too late. So they used the statute of limitations.
Okay.
But here's why that doesn't fit. Because how can he wasn't suing the Bulls for firing him. He was suing the league for colluding to keep him out of earning money in his profession. So that didn't necessarily, the clock shouldn't have started on that lawsuit after he was let go from the Bulls. The clock should have started after he spent a couple years trying to get back in the league to prove Right?
Yeah, but when everybody's working together against you, the rules are, the rules that get a little bit skewed.
I see what you're saying. He should have sought legal counsel initially, and then they should have been on that stuff and filed in them first 2 years. Look, you ain't got a job in 2 years. That's enough. That's all the evidence we need.
Yeah, but he didnn want to sue immediately because he thought
fucking the system, right?
Yeah, I'm one of the greatest shooters in the NBA.
On the one hand, but I'm a pookie in the eyes of white supremacy in the other hand.
Right. So there's no way that they're not going to allow me to play ball, or there's no way one of these teams is not going to give me a contract. So yes, he wanted to make a point as far as black men being beaten by the police, but on the other hand, he still wanted to play basketball.
But you should be able to do both. You should be able to earn a living and speak out against tyranny.
You should. And you should be able to easily prove that these teams colluded for you not to play in the league. But, when the lawyers, the judges, all those people are going to the same.
They're all part of the collusion.
Yeah, they're all part of it. There's not much you can do, especially back in the day when it wasn't entertained as far as being a real concept, as far as a black man being beaten by the police, and it's not his fault.
Well, it says, despite the lawsuit being dismissed, it seems like there was something to it. In his last 2 seasons in the league, he played 129 games. So that's about 60 games, played in 129 games, averaged 5 points and 10.8 minutes a game. So here's a guy who you're using every game pretty much, and then now he can't get work.
It's amazing, huh?
All because he wore a dashiki and gave the president a letter about police brutality.
Right.
I mean, so what? The president was offended? This Mooley giving me...
Yeah. Well,
I don't understand what the problem was.
That was the all pink power that they were showing that they were wielding against him. So I don't even think collusion would have been a concept.
Oh, it was buck breaking.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And everybody was in on it, from the president out to the judges, to the owners, to the lawyers.
Hey, you don't know what was in Reinsdorf's heart.
Man, we know what was in his heart. When he calls you and tells you that, that your services are no longer required. And
good luck with your future.
Yeah. Come on. We know what's in his heart.
Big ups to Craig. Go ahead and throw your final words on here, man, and we can wrap it up.
All right. I just want to, as I was saying earlier, when we first started touching on the saga of Craig Hodges and what the Chicago Bulls and the entire NBA did to him, as far as ending his career basically in his prime, because he spoke out for us as melanated people against the police department, something that we still see as a crime occurring on a daily basis today. That the fact that, his career was ended by the Chicago Bulls, who still needed a guard to shoot, still needed one of the best three-point shooters in the league to play. The fact that they ended his career and he wasn't ever financially compensated for it, let's, as we have to say every week, let's go back and apologize to this player. You know what you did. Make it right. NBA, again, you know what you did. Make it right. I know you won't admit to anything because that comes with litigation and money, but do the right thing. You know what you did to Craig Hodges.
Well, no, they can admit to it because it's already past the statute of limitations. But go ahead.
They won't. Just because, just because one of the other Reinsdorfians will come and say, in case the law changes and future considerations and blah, 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 you never want to admit to something that you did and you know what was wrong.
Oh, you mean like the way they changed the statute of limitations on sexual assault and things like that?
Yeah. You know how they do. Anyway, so shout out to Craig Hodges and being a pioneer in this fight against the tyranny of the police departments of the world, and the ability to speak up and showing that you're a melanated man and trying to, through thought and conversation and even a letter, do something to help melanated people in the United States of America by speaking out to the president, showing your blackness.
The former director of the CIA president.
Oh, well, we know he killed a lot of people, allegedly, in this world for American justice. So he had no interest in hearing what the hell was going on. But, I don't know if we could ever have a Craig Hodges Day here in Chicago. We need to. But, that brother needs to be get his flowers while he's here. And big ups, Craig Hodges. And, I know Michael Jordan was protecting himself and his brand or whatever. But Money, come on, man. Y'all know what happened to Craig Hodges. Give that brother some love. That's my final word.
Well said. And I'll just say one thing. Not saying it's right. The decision for Mike had to be a much tougher decision than it should have been for Magic. Magic had already won multiple chips and was on the tail end of his career. And maybe if he'd have showed some veteran leadership and said, yeah, I'm down, let's do it, Mike wouldn't have had a choice. What I'm saying about Mike is he was going after his first chip. Again, I'm not excusing it, but I'm just saying I feel like the decision for him at that point in his career would have been a lot different, a lot more difficult to make than it would have been for Magic. To the point about the NBA, yes, the NBA, you're woke, you're a woke league, quote unquote. You have this woke commissioner, and you're all about doing the right thing. To Ace's point, you don't have to worry about the lawsuit. You can get your lawyers to craft something without admitting collusion or any fault. You need to acknowledge Craig Hodges. You need to write a check for Craig Hodges. And also for Chris Jackson, who formerly known as Chris Jackson. My move, my dude, my roof. And you can make this right. You've got the money, NBA. Pay the man. Pay the man the amount of money you think he would have made over the, say, 3-4 years. Get some sort of settlement. Pay him in today's value of the cash. That's atonement. Atonement is not just admitting what you did wrong. It's making reparations to the ones that you've wronged. And those are my final words, which brings me to next week on Mouthpiece Included. Always an open panel. We're covering Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, the hooper formerly known as Chris Jackson. So all he did was put his palms up and bowed his head during the national anthem. I mean, what are we, anti-Islam here? Is that what's going on in America?
Those darn Muslims.
Full Muslim ban. Is that what's going on? I don't understand.
That's what happened. It was allowed to happen.
All right. I'm just asking the questions. All right. But at 2 p.m. Central after the show, live, the Self-Love Show, we're covering the top 9 reasons why melanated communities tend not to recycle our bread. And of course, we're a solution-based podcast, so we're going to offer some solutions. Ace, can you give me one of the excuses you hear? I just want to know if it's on the list here. Why don't you spend your money with black people? Can you?
Oh man, they always trying to get over on you. They charge more money than Walmart.
That is definitely on the list there, fella. That definitely made the list. Yeah, so
kidding me. You're gonna spend some money with your people.
Even if it costs a little bit more. You know what I mean? You know, that man or woman is trying to make it in life just like that Arab or, Korean or small hat or wherever it is in your community.
Yeah, it's not paying any damn taxes. It's taking that money right out of your community and putting it right in their own pockets.
Selling you deodorant, but not using it themselves. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, going to the grocery store that you shop at and buy the stuff on sale and come and sell it right in your gas station, right to you at a higher damn price. Yeah.
Follow you around the store and look at you like you're dirty because you're melanin on your skin, but we don't have no problem with that.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me get the nachos with the extra meat.
With the meat, with the mystery meat.
With the extra mystery meat and the cheese.
All right, that wraps it up for today. We appreciate y'all's support. So if you ever find yourself sliding through the greater city of Chicago, you might be on the south side or the west side. Might be sitting there looking at your phone. You better keep your head on a swivel. You might be sliding through Inglewood County. You better check your blind spot. Better watch your six. You better knuckle up. Better guard your grill.
That's good.
And for damn sure, don't forget it. Don't forget to
Allstock.com. Circle of black dollars.
Don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. Niggas charging too much money.
Yeah.
You ain't giving me no discount.
Walmart.
So let's give me a homie discount. A discount. I can go down to Gucci store and get this.